everyone, and welcome to another episode of our Duotone Foiling Tech Talks. I'm Klaas, and I'm standing here with Finn and Jeffrey Spencer, our designers of our boards here on Maui. And who would be better to talk to than these two guys with one of the hottest products of our range, the new Downwind range for 2025. So Finn, this must have been your most favorite project to work on, right?
Definitely. Here on Maui, we have pretty perfect downwind conditions, so it's fun to test all the boards and work on new shapes.
Yeah, you guys told me you've been basically downwinding every single day in summer. Your dad just told me it's been windy last summer, like 3 months in a row. So tons of time on these shapes. So what have you guys been doing to this range?
So you can see with the new range, we've kind of split them into two. We have the originals and then the new slims. With the originals, we've gotten rid of the 6.4 because most people were using that for winging, and then now with the Skybrids, we kind of have that covered. And then for really high performance riders, they can go with the slims. But for the originals, we've gone half an inch narrower for every board, and then a couple inches longer just to stretch the outline a bit, get a bit more speed to get up on foil while it's still kind of the same stability down the water.
Okay.
And then with the slims, we've got three sizes. We have a 7.6 by 18, an 8.0 by 18.5, and an 8.6 by 19 in 90, 100, and 110 liter.
All right. So I guess you guys are mainly riding the slims. Jeffrey, maybe hand over to you. What's your take on which conditions would you pick for riding the slim, and who is more the guy for the regular downwinder? I mean, efficiency glide-wise must be always better on the narrow, longer board, but why do we have both?
Yeah, so the normal Downwinder SLS is a great board for if you're getting into downwind foiling. You still need some experience to ride it for sure, but it's just got more stability and it's a better fit for probably like shorter, quicker bumps, or shorter, like the bump type of bumps. Steeper bumps, right? Exactly.
Steeper bumps, yeah.
Shorter, steeper bumps where the shore length really fits in there, and it's just a little more stability to get going. And then the slim is really excellent when you need that, increased paddle speed, especially for the big bumps out here in the ocean. And when it's just faster and you're trying to ride smaller foils, then the slims really get you going.
Yeah, I just went through the whole process of learning how to downwind foil. So I have been struggling really hard at home. I have a 610 of the previous range. And I was struggling really hard when the conditions were firing. Like when the bumps are quick, it's so hard to get in on when you need that smaller foil.
Yep.
And when the waves is kind of almost like lake waves, small but steep, the 610 was perfect. I was loving it. And I thought immediately I need actually two different styles for the different conditions.
Yeah, totally.
And then you were talking about stability. A lot of our customers are buying these wing boards actually for winging, for the light wind efficiency. So that board still has that DNA and it's not too long. I personally just recently rode that 8.6. I find it quite long. Obviously it gets into the bumps super quick. But for winging, I can imagine it's just not really the board, right?
Yeah, the Downwinder, the normal one is still an excellent wingboard for those super light winging conditions. And then the slim is like the dedicated, you really want to downwind and get into those fast bumps.
Okay, so maybe get back to Finn. What have you guys been doing in terms of the shape? Individually, for you done something different on the SLS, just Downwinder SLS to the slim, or both similar design features?
We made changes to the original standard Downwinder, which we then kind of implemented into the slim. But with the standard, we widened the tail slightly, kind of on the deck near the tail, but also pulled it in on the rail at the bottom.
So this area here.
Exactly, yeah, it's much more pulled in than the last year's ones. And we found that really just helps you get more board speed and then really get the foil working a bit sooner. You can start pumping the board a bit easier. And then we've also gone for a slightly higher nose rocker, just so you can get over those bumps a bit more when you're getting going. And then just a slight concave deck on the originals, just so if you want to turn a bit more, you can just get your feet a bit on the rail and have a bit more pressure to turn it.
Okay. What about the bottom concept? You guys have a pretty flat bottom. There's quite a few downwinders out there which are pretty rounded. So why are you opting for the
Yeah,
flatter
just
bottom?
when we first developed them, we pretty much tried everything, and we found the round bottom worked well in super low speeds and kind of had decent glide there. But once you started going slightly faster, it got really sticky and was just really hard to get the board up to speed. And we also found it to be a fair bit tippier when you're not moving.
Ah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Bringing the edges of the board out.
And
Yeah.
especially when you're going fast and you touch down, the flat board the flattened single concave just seems to glide a bit and not really mess you up too much. Whereas a round one could kind of track a bit or throw you off a little.
Okay. Any other changes?
To the standards, yes, we have the new carbon boxes in them. So a bit longer, a bit lighter with an opening at the back so you can kind of just drop your mast right in. And yeah, we found that to be really nice because generally downwinding, you can ride a lot of different kinds of foils depending on the conditions or who you are really. So it really just gives you those options.
And then bringing the weight down slightly off the
Exactly,
boxes itself. So weight obviously being a big factor. We already got some great feedback on last year's range on the weight that is actually pretty good. So I guess for downwinding that's a key. Same construction as last year, just with the long carbon tracks.
Yeah.
Which would be your pick if you pick one of the range?
I think for me, I would probably pick the 7.6 Slim. Just I'm not super big, and I like riding smaller foils, so I find it has the speed to get me into bumps and get me going as early as possible, but it's still small enough for my size and weight that I can maneuver and pump it pretty easily.
All right, so we're gonna see you on this the proto of this one in the M2O probably.
Definitely, yeah.
Maybe Jeffrey, you've been also testing a bunch of foils with these. So what would be your foil combination?
Yeah, for the standard SLS, especially for most of the people that are getting into it or a little newer to it, the glides are an exceptional foil. Just really, really reliable to get up and really easy to ride, especially with the shorter length. Pumping maneuverability is all super fun. The whizzes are a super fun foil if you're looking for that extreme turning. And then especially once you get into the slims, the race type foils like the Hyperglide will be the best ones to go with for that.
Your weapon, yeah. I've been riding a lot at home with my previous 610 with a new Glide 2.0 1100 and the small, steeper bumps. Just recently here on the 900, I'm not at your level yet to bring out that 680 Hyperglide, but yeah, that sounds like a really great range for this year. I wish you guys best of luck for the upcoming events. Looking forward to smash it and see you guys on the podium. Yeah. I'm personally super keen to get my hands on one of these new slim ones. I mean, downwinding is a really addictive sport. I just got into it. I'm doing windsurfing, winging, and all that. But when it's cranking, I'm really looking also for these downwind days. So yeah, guys, I hope this was helpful for you. Thanks for all these infos. If you have any questions, I mean, downwinding is a very complex, it's not an easy sport. These guys have been working on it to make it as easy as possible. So there's also a pretty big board in the range with 22 inches width, the new 8.0 of the standard downwinder. That's probably your best chance to get an easy entry with our new Glide 2.0.
Totally, yeah.
And if you have any questions to these guys, just leave us a comment under this video and leave a like if you like it, and hope to see you in the next episode.